In this tutorial, I'm going to cover how to downgrade from Windows 8 to Windows 7. This tutorial is aimed for beginners, and I'm going to try and make this as simple as possible, but if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email or put the questions in the comments. In this tutorial, I'm going to cover two scenarios. The first one is you have a brand new Windows 8 machine that you bought or perhaps obtained, and you want to downgrade that to Windows 7. And the other scenario I'm going to cover is that you previously had Windows 7 XP or Vista and you upgraded to Windows 8 and you want to go back. Now, if you have a brand new Windows machine, you're going to want to check to see which version of Windows 8 you have. If you have the professional version of Windows 8, you actually have downgrade rights to Windows 7, which means that you can install Windows 7 Pro and you won't actually have to pay anything for it. Unfortunately, if you have any other version of Windows 8, you must purchase a full retail version of Windows 7 or a full OEM version of Windows 7. And I'll provide links to Amazon.com in the description to buy a copy of Windows 7. And in addition, you're going to want to check your manufacturer's website in order to make sure that the drivers are compatible for Windows 7. If you previously upgraded to Windows 8 from a different Windows operating system and you want to go back, the first thing you're going to want to do is see if your computer came with operating system DVDs or a recovery partition. You're going to want to consult any manuals that came with your computer for directions on that. If not, if it didn't come with a recovery partition or an operating system, then you're going to want to look at the bottom of your PC and you'll see a genuine Windows sticker, and on it is your serial key. You're going to want to copy that down. And then you're going to want to download a stock copy of Windows 7 or borrow a physical copy from a friend. And if you upgraded from Windows XP or Windows Vista, you're going to want to purchase a Windows 7 upgrade, OEM, or full retail disc. If you do not know how to create a Windows 7 installation disk or an installation thumb drive, you can consult these tutorials right here where I cover burning ISO images and how to install Windows 7 from a flash drive. Before installing any version of Windows, you're going to want to back up your computer. Note that when we downgrade from Windows 8 to Windows 7, we're going to have to do a clean install, which means when we install Windows 7, it's going to be brand new. None of your applications, programs, or files are going to be on the computer, so you're going to have to go and reinstall all your applications earlier. Note that your previous installation is saved in a folder called windows.ol that's located on the C root, so you technically don't have to back up all your files, but I would just as a security precaution. Once we're done backing up our files, we're going to proceed to check if our computer has a secure boot feature enabled. And this is something that's new to Windows 8 and will prevent us from reinstalling Windows 7 unless we disable it. So we're going to open up an application called PowerShell and run this as administrator. And we're going to type in confirm secure boot UEFI. And you should see something like this appear once you click return. If the prompt returns true, this means that secure boot is enabled on your version of Windows 8. And when we install Windows 7, the first thing we're going to have to do is disable this. And we're going to have to do this through the BIOS. With that in mind, we're going to go up into the Charms menu, go to Settings, click Change PC Settings, and then go up to General. And once we're here, we're going to scroll down to the very bottom, and under Advanced Startup, we're going to select Restart Now. This will take us to this menu right here. Under Advanced Options, you're going to try and look for an option that says UEFI Firmware Settings. And if there is, click that option and look for instructions to disabling it. And note that this is only if you have Secure Boot enabled. If you don't worry about this at all. Next, we're going to insert in our Windows installation CD and restart our computer. When your computer starts, you may notice that you have a little function key that you can press to enter setup. What you're going to want to do is click that key. Usually it's F2, F6, or escape, but it depends on the manufacturer. You can find out by Googling BIOS and then the manufacturer. Once we press that key, we'll enter into the system BIOS. The first thing we want to do is to reset our boot priorities so that our CD-ROM or our flash drive is on the top of the menu. This will allow us to boot from our Windows 7 installation disk or thumb drive. Once we have that done, we're going to want to proceed to disable the secure boot feature if it's enabled. I don't have secure boot on my computer, so it's not as an option in the BIOS, but in computers that do, you should see secure boot mode somewhere in the BIOS and then the option to disable it. So once you disable that, we are free to go with our Windows 7 installation. So we're going to exit out the BIOS here. And we're going to proceed to boot from our installation DVD or flash drive. Here you'll see Windows 7 loading up right here. If you have any confusion on how this works, just check the manufacturer's website and how to navigate around the BIOS and how to boot off of an installation disk. So here we're going to proceed with the installation, and we're going to select Custom Installation. And here we're going to select our primary partition here. You'll recognize this as the one with the most disk space on typical installations. And we're going to proceed to install Windows. And this will take about 15 minutes, and you'll see the computer reboot a couple times. Once that's done, you're going to be brought to a screen right here where you'll be able to set up your computer. Note, when it comes to the part where you enter in your serial key, you're going to want to enter in a Windows 7 serial key if you have one. If you're downgrading from Windows 8 Pro to Windows 7 using downgrade rights, I'll show you in a split second how to get that activated. If you're using an upgrade CD, if you originally have Windows XP or Vista and you're upgrading to Windows 7, you're going to also want to follow this additional step that I'll show, but you'll want to enter in your Windows 7 upgrade serial key. So once Windows is finished setting up right here, you'll be preparing your desktop, and here will be your Windows 7 screen. Now we're going to proceed and activate our Windows 7 installation. So we're going to do this by going to Computer, System Properties, and scrolling down to the very bottom. And here we're going to select Activate Windows Now. If you have a full version of Windows 7, you're going to want to activate online. But if you're using downgrade rights or you're upgrading from Windows XP Vista, you're going to want to call the guy right here and insert in your serial key if you have one. And now when you call the Microsoft guy or the employee, you're going to want to tell him this. If you're using downgrade rights from Windows 8 Pro to Windows 7, you're going to want to say that you're using downgrade rights and provide your Windows 8 Pro serial key. If you're originally upgrading from Windows XP to Vista and you upgrade to Windows 8 and you want to go back down to Windows 7, tell them that you're upgrading from Windows XP or Vista and provide your Windows XP or Vista serial key. And then the operator will give you a little string of numbers that you can insert in right here into this window, and Windows will automatically activate for you. Alright, and that's it. Once you have that taken care of, you'll have an activated Windows 7 installation, and we can proceed to do some post-installation stuff. For example, installing drivers. This is pretty critical. It depends on your manufacturer, but you can search your manufacturer and go to their website right here. And then it should have the option somewhere here to download the specific drivers for your model. Like right here, I'm just using Toshiba, and they have you can go right here, look at your specific laptop model, and then click Go, and it provides all the drivers. And this is very similar to Dell, HP, and all the other top manufacturing websites right here. So just find the Windows 7 drivers and install them, and you should be good to go. For installing your applications, there's a neat little tool called Ninite that I use pretty often. And what Ninite does is you can select all these applications that you commonly use, click Get Installer, and what it does is it creates this custom installer which automatically installs all these applications at once. And this saves you a ton of time, so you don't have to spend too much time reinstalling all your applications. And all the most common applications are here, like all your web browsers, Steam, your antivirus tools, your editing tools, your stuff like 7-zip, Flash. So this saves you a lot of time. So once you have that, you can click Save File here, and you can run this installer, and it will install all these common applications that you use. And that's it. Now you're done. You've successfully downgraded from Windows 8 to Windows 7. And I hope this helps. For more tutorials, please go to thehackersjournal.com.